I went from charging $125 per hour for coaching sessions to then consistently closing $10,000 coaching packages. When I first started my business, that was a transition I made, and I did it without any fancy funnels, without a huge following, and definitely without burning out. Okay. So in this Tuesday tutorial, I'm going to be breaking this down for you exactly what I did, how I did it, so that you can absolutely do it too, because I already know the doubt and the fear that's coming up right now for you. And we're going to get into that next. But what I need you to know is that it is absolutely possible for you, just as it is for me and anybody else who's doing this out there. Okay. What I need you to know is that you've already been paid for your time. Now it's time to get paid for your transformation. Okay. And that's what we want to focus on today. I'm going to teach you and break down for you my system, my method, my secret sauce, so to speak. Okay. Exactly my step-by-step process for what you can follow. So make sure you have something to write down this information I'm going to give you, because this information is going to be a big deal in your transformation. Okay. What do you need to do to create a high ticket offer that sells itself? And that is what we're going to talk about in today's Tuesday tutorial. Okay. So I do hope you have something to write with, but I want to address the fact that right now, as soon as I said that, you have the desire to sell a 10K or more offer, right? High ticket, high end offer. However, you're already allowing doubt and fear to kick in because you don't believe you can do it. You want it, but you don't believe you can do it. And I'm going to debunk that for you, because this is what I need you to know. And I want you to hear me on this. Okay. You already have the receipts. You have the results. You have a real gift to serve, and you've already got the education. You have the experience, and you also have the level of expertise that you need. You are already equipped with everything you need inside of you. In order to succeed, you've got what it takes. I promise. Okay? That thing, those things that make you uniquely you, your God-given gifts, your talents, your years of experience, the level of expertise you have, the education that you went in debt for because you pursued those degrees. Okay? All of that wrapped into a nice, pretty package with the bow. Okay? I promise you, you are the it factor. You are the package. And people are waiting for you to show up. They are begging, wishing, hoping, praying, looking for you specifically to show up. And I'm going to walk you through this process today because I need you to show up more for yourself, but also for those you are called to serve. And I want to see you win and be super successful in this season and well beyond. So that's why we're going to get into this Tuesday tutorial and talk about exactly what you need in order to succeed and create that 10K offer that you've been wanting to create for yourself. Okay. Because you don't need 5 offers. Okay. It's nothing wrong with having a product suite, but you don't need 5 offers. You don't need 5,000 followers. You need one signature solution that transforms lives and changes your own. Okay. So you got something to write with? Did I give you enough time? Write this down. 5 steps. Okay. I'm going to teach you my specific framework. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to pick a premium problem. Pick a premium problem. Okay. Because people pay premium prices for premium problems solved. I'm going to say that again. People pay premium prices for premium problems solved. Okay. So an example might be career transition for women over 40. It might be reversing burnout for high level professionals. Okay. It could be building a business while you're transitioning a 9 to 5. Okay. Just like, so it can be, it doesn't matter which industry you're in. It doesn't matter what your niche is. There are some niches that are more profitable than others, but every niche can be profitable if you have the right framework. Okay. So the top niches, top 3 niches, just so you know, is always in health, relationships, and finance. But any niche, I promise you, if you have the right framework, you can create a high ticket offer that sells itself. Okay. Now, ask yourself this: what is the urgent, expensive, most painful problem that you can solve for this particular individual, your ideal client avatar? Okay. So you first need to be clear on that. And I have a whole video where I've talked about ideal client avatar. So we're focusing on your ideal client avatar. What is the most urgent, expensive, or painful problem that you can solve? That's number 1. Number 2 is I want you to map your method. This is where your actual signature core offer comes into place, or precisely your signature framework. Because just like I have frameworks, you also need your own proprietary frameworks. Okay, so this is number 2. Map your method. Okay, because a confused coach doesn't convert clients. And if right now you're hurting for sales and your business is falling by the wayside, right? If you're not making consistent sales, it's probably because you don't have clients who are converting. And if you don't have clients, that means you don't have an income stream. You're not producing enough revenue, right? You're not going to be a profitable business in that way. And what's going to end up happening is your business will fail, right? Because you don't have a business right now, right? So we need clients, we need leads, we need you to be clear on what it is you do and who you do it for and the specific problem you're solving for. Otherwise, a confused coach does not convert clients. I need you to remember that. Okay, now hang on to that. What you're going to do is you're going to introduce 3 to 5 a 3 to 5 step proprietary framework, because we're talking about frameworks. A 3 to 5, just keep it super simple. That's my KISS method. Keep it super simple. KISS it. That's always how I teach. Let's not overcomplicate this, okay? So I'll use myself as an example. I have 3 main proprietary systems that I sell direct to consumer, and I also sell business to business. So I work with small business owners. I work with corporate professionals. I work exclusively with women over 40. And I also work closely with corporations, okay, securing contracts. So no matter who I'm selling to, my ideal client avatar is always the same individual, okay? But my 3-part systems, I have my CPR framework, my AED framework, and I have my legacy ladder framework. Those are my 3. One is 2 or 3 parts, and then the other one is like a tiered system. But the point is, it is my proprietary system and my framework, and you need a framework too, okay? Because you need to make it repeatable, you need to make it results driven, and you need to make it branded. You following me so far? Okay. Your story is what's going to make it relatable, right? But your system is what's going to make it scalable. So have a framework that you can already, be working on. That's going to be your process, your proven process, okay? Your repeatable system, your results-driven system, right? Your secret sauce. What is that thing? What is that system, that framework that you teach that you can consistently get results for this particular ICA or ideal client avatar that you're working with? Does that make sense? Okay. So now, before we go to the next step, if you're getting what I'm giving and you love these gems I'm dropping, go ahead and leave a comment right now so we can get this discussion popping. I want to know if you're following me so far. Let me know where it is you are in the journey. And also, I'd love to know if you actually have a framework, right? So, and also, if you are not yet subscribed, girl, I don't know what you're waiting for, okay? If you are feeling my vibe and want to become a part of my tribe, do subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single episode whenever I drop new content and or go live. If you're finding value here, definitely subscribe right now, okay? Now, the third step is to package the promise. Package the promise. This is where we're offering clarity, okay? We need to be super clear. So I want you to define and describe the before and after, right? Because wherever your ICA or ideal client avatar is, they want to go from, they're stuck in a place, right? They have some pain, they have a problem, they have an urgent need, a strong desire. Where are they now? And where do they ultimately want to be? So we need to define and describe that for them. We need to talk about what the tangible outcome is going to be. So don't get hung up on, how many modules is in your program or how many hours you're going to spend or what the features are and how much time it's going, or how much, don't get hung up in like details that don't matter. Okay. What matters are the benefits. People want to know, what is the transformation? What's in it for me? How are you going to get me there? Right? So we want to talk tangible outcomes, the benefits, the transformation. And we do want to talk about how long it's going to take, because they need to kind of hear, like, what are the milestones that it's going to be required of them to get them to move ahead quicker, faster, and sooner. So if you can make this easy for them, if you can make this faster for them, if you can take away their pain, if you can cure the problem, right? If you can give them the medicine, that is what they're looking for. They're looking for the cure. You have the cure. Your solution is the cure. Your signature core offer, your frameworks, those are the pieces that are important in all of this, okay? Because this is the solution that they need in order to move from where they are now to where they ultimately want to be. So the template that I'm going to provide you is super simple, right? And that is, and I hope you have something to write with. If not, just come back and watch the video again and take notes, okay? So it's going to sound something like, I help who? You fill in the blank. Who do you help? I help blank go from problem to desired result using my branded method. Okay? So it might sound something like this. I'll use myself as an example. I help high achieving women over 40 exit their corporate careers and build an aligned and profitable online brand and business without sacrificing their soul and sanity or compromising their health and happiness, right? Keep it super simple. So again, who do you help? I help go from what problem to what desired result or outcome using whatever your branded method is. So this is where you can plug your framework in, or this is where you can kind of pour salt on the wound, as I call it, by saying, or speaking to the outcome, which is, in my case, I'm helping you to prioritize your health, healing, and happiness, right? Okay, so hopefully that's clear. The fourth step, we're almost there. Fourth step is price the transformation. Price the transformation, not your time. Remember in the beginning when I opened this conversation up, I said I was charging $125 per hour for each session working with my clients. And it was bringing in the worst type of clients, by the way, okay? Nightmare clients, not all of them, but some of them. High expectations for a small dollar amount because I didn't know how I should price. I didn't understand really business models and the way that I do now. So what I need you to hear is that this 10K offer we're talking about is not about time at all. So get that out of your mind. It's not about time. It's about the value of the result, right, that you get for the clients that work with you. So let's talk about it in a way that it is value-based pricing. We got to We got to speak. We got to do value-based pricing because it is about the value that you're getting for the client. The big promise you're making, the ultimate transformation. What is that? So forget about time. Okay. Erase that from your mind. Act as if you never even thought that or heard it. We've got to undo that. Sometimes we got to unlearn things and make room for new learnings. Okay. Value-based pricing is where it's at. I want you to show so whatever you're selling, right? So if you're selling whatever this 10K offer is, I can come up with a lot of different examples, but I don't want to make this long because I want you to get what you came for and then go get to work, okay? Get into radical action. Whatever your 10K offer is, whatever you decide for it to be, make sure that the ICA you're selling it to, the solution, your solution that you're offering, that they understand that that 10K offer is cheaper than the years of the trial and error. So if they keep trying to do this thing on their own, where will this land them? Because let's just go ahead and be real. Okay. If they could already do what they've been trying to do without your help, you, the expert, okay, the one who gets them the result, if they keep trying to do it on their own, right? Asking Dr. Google, going to YouTube University, trying to figure it out on their own, the trial and error method. They've been doing this for far too long. What is it costing them? Because if they could have done it on their own, wouldn't they have already? You know what I mean? So you've got to mention the energy costs. You've got to mention the opportunity cost. You've got to talk about the emotional return on investment, ROI. And here's what I want to warn you about. If you keep pricing based on your self-esteem or your ego or your self-doubt or fear, you're going to keep attracting clients who match that doubt and fear and ego and all of that, okay? We've got to create from a value-based, we've got to do value-based pricing and create from a place of the transformation that we're getting for the clients. And we're basing it on we're basing it on that, but we're also, another thought came to my mind, but I'm trying to keep this super simple so I don't, sometimes my mind goes other places when I think of other examples. Bottom line is, this is about, we don't want to base it on, now I did lose my train of thought. I want you to keep the pricing, what was I saying? I want you to keep the pricing based on, or don't price based on your self-esteem is where I was at, because you'll be attracting the wrong clients. And we need to attract the right clients and repel the wrong clients. That's the bigger message I wanted you to get in this moment. And so we don't want clients who's going to match your doubt and fear, right? And it's all, again, based in your value, the value that you're offering, the value of your program, your package, your service. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's something else I want you to take away. This is a real truth bomb. The price that you set teaches people how to treat you. So it may feel like at first, if I set a low price, right? Like that whole ebook myth, I'll do another video on that on a whole other day, okay? Because that's another thing. All these cheap prices, see, what you don't see is what people have, coaches have behind the black curtain, so to speak, right? You are only seeing the top of the iceberg when you're seeing coaches who are really making money in this business, in this industry. You're seeing them sell all of these ebooks and these cheaper offers, not realizing that's just the start of a funnel. That's just to get them into their world. And then they're always going to have a premium priced or high ticket offer in the background, if they're smart, right? If they're doing this right. But you don't see that. So you you're watching people create these cheap offers and getting you into these cheap memberships and, like I said, ebooks and different things, right? Mini courses and for $97 and workshops and so on and so forth. That's great. And I'm not saying it's not valuable what they're offering. But what I am saying is best believe that if they are successful in this coaching and consulting world, what I promise you is that that is only, that's getting you into their world. And then they're always going to have more to offer you, because that $97 workshop or that $27 ebook or what have you is not the full solution. Does that make sense? So it would only make sense for them to get you a quick win, which is what those cheaper offers do. Okay, so they are offering real value. But then the next thing is for you and for your clients, as much as it is for my clients or leads, those following me in my audience, is to make sure that you're getting them to take the next logical step with you. You see, so you would want to have something else to offer. So let's start with the high ticket offer first, like what I'm teaching you. And then we can break down all of those other, offers in your product suite. And I can then teach you how to utilize each of those to your advantage. Okay. So I wanted to say that, but that's one strategy that's used in this industry to create more leads, to generate more leads. You got me? Okay. So that was number 4. Number 5 is position your premium offer, high ticket offer, powerfully, because we're talking high ticket. Okay. Make sure you position it powerfully. What do I mean by that? I mean, high ticket clients, they don't need convincing. They don't need you to convince them and convert them. We're not in the convincing and converting game no more. Okay. That's low ticket offers for the most part. What they need, your high ticket offers, your premium price clients, they need clarity. That's it. They'll be sold if you can be clear, not cute and clever, clear. So that means the way you would position yourself is with confidence, number 1, because you've done this before, whether you are thinking about it that way or not. Like I started off in the beginning, you have the education, the expertise, you have lived experience, you have the receipts, you have what you need, right? So we already established that from the beginning. So don't let doubt start creeping back in, all right? You have what it takes. Results. Focus on the results, not the resume. Why? Because even though I can sit here right now and tell you, that I am, I'm offering you whatever my solution is. And I have 30 years of experience in corporate, 25 years in healthcare as a registered nurse, 20 plus years in leadership, 10 plus years in coaching, yada, yada, yada. I have the whole alphabet soup of credentials behind my name. And all of this is true, by the way. However, that means nothing to you, right? Especially if this is the first time we're getting to meet each other and getting to know each other. You don't care about that. You don't care at all about that, right? What you want to know is what's in it for me. How can you, miseducated woman that I'm listening to, how can you help me get from where I am in the pain I'm in now to get to where I want to be, get out of the pain, right? How can you take me from Kansas to Oz? How can you take me from 0 to hero, right? How can you take me from the dread to the dream, the nightmare to the dream? You understand? That's all they care about. That's nice that you have the credentials. That does add some credibility, but it's not necessary. If you only had a GED, but you had lived experience and you already were making 6 or 7 figures, or you are already at the health status that somebody else wants to be, or you already knew how to get somebody out of whatever the pain is that they're in, like maybe to stop them from going through a divorce or whatever it is you solve, right? That's going to be worth to them more than anything. They will not care if you have the degrees and the certifications and the licenses and such to show for it. So I just need you to hear me on that. Okay. Focus on the results, not the resumes, and specificity over generalism. So be specific, not general. Don't be vague. Tell people exactly what it is you do, who it is you do it for, and how you actually do it. So you are a specialist, not a generalist. And that's another way that you can charge premium prices and high ticket. Okay. And add urgency to it, because it is urgent. When you are in pain, really bad pain and you've been there for a long time and you have tried to remedy yourself, at home, and nothing's worked so far, you need pain, right? If you're in pain right now to the point that you're like, I don't know what else to do, nothing's working, like back pain, neck pain, knee pain, heart pain. If you're thinking you're having a heart attack or a stroke or some kind of severe pain, you're going to the doctor, you're going to urgent care, you're going to the ER, right? Because it's serious. You need help now. Speak to those urgencies, speak to those to where they are right now in it. They're in it. Talk about it and speak to the authority that you have to help them resolve the issue. Okay. I want you to remember that clarity closes, confidence converts, and systems scale. Okay? I'll say that again. Clarity closes, confidence converts, and systems scale. I need you to remember that. Okay? Now, if you are ready to package up your brilliance into a beautiful premium priced offer or high ticket offer for 10K or more, and an offer that is a real solution for people who need it, your people, right? If you want to hone into that and create a signature offer that actually finally pays you what you're worth, then join me in the Legacy Leaders Lounge, which is my private 30-day premium priced program. It is a group coaching program, and it's for specifically high achieving women over 40. So whether you are just leaving a corporate career or you're wanting to transition from a career you've outgrown or no longer serves you, or you are a parallelpreneur, right? Maybe you are doing both your job and a very demanding job if you're in leadership like I was, and you're also building your business, but you're burning out, then you need to be in this program, right? And also if you are someone who is just, you're burning out in business really bad, right? And you want to prioritize your health, your healing, your happiness. If you're healing from some sort of trauma, be it a toxic job or a hostile work environment you had to fight your way out of, or whatever the case might be. If you are a woman over 40, a woman of color, or an LGBTQ plus woman, if you identify with any of those, okay, fall into any of those categories, you're my peeps. All right. So the first thing you want to do and where you would want to start is hop on a clarity call with me. All right. And then when we can talk through the details of what this looks like and what the options are. And if you decide to join, no pressure, a simple conversation. You either get a one-off support with me in that clarity call and you walk away with clarity and a personalized game plan, and or I should say you might decide to join. I hope you do, okay? Because if anything I described for you today really hits home, then this is going to be very valuable for you. And so you get to work closely with me during the 30 days. I'll go through all of the details about what the program covers. When you hop on a call with me, I've already talked about it in other videos as well, so you may have heard me speak about it. And the cost of the call, I'm doing this as a bonus, okay, extra incentive for you, will be credited towards the actual investment of the program. So that's a really sweet deal, right? Okay, so hopefully this was very valuable. And if you found it valuable, like I said, make sure you do subscribe. That's my time. So I'm going to tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with at least 3 friends and watch the next video that YouTube recommends, okay? As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you. Bye for now.